Meet Codename Goose, your on-machine open-source AI agent. Built to automate your tasks, Codename Goose is an intelligent and autonomous agent capable of handling complex tasks thanks to its core features. Connect with apps and tools you already use with extensions. Built on the Model Context Protocol, you can connect to extensions like GitHub, integrate JetBrains IDEs, access Google Drive, or build your own custom integrations for Goose. For a curated list of extensions, visit our docs. With a wide range of compatible large language model providers, you can choose and integrate your preferred model. You can also run Goose as a desktop app or through the command line interface using the same configurations across both. You can think of Goose as an assistant, ready to take your instructions and do the work for you. Able to handle a wide range of tasks across various engineering domains. Here are examples of tasks Goose has helped people with already. Goose has helped dive into a new project in an unfamiliar coding language, conduct code migrations such as Ember to React or Ruby to Kotlin, increase code coverage, and even generate unit tests for a feature, and much more. To get started using Goose right away, check out our quick start and be the first to know about upcoming features by joining our community.
All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Or actually, it might be afternoon for people, but wherever you're tuning in from, hello. And if this is your first time tuning into the Great Goose Off, this is essentially a show where people use Goose, which is an open source AI agent, and kind of like a vibe coding type of competition or showdown, where I give a very crazy prompt and they basically use Goose or very crazy challenge, and they basically prompt Goose to get that output. So I'm gonna bring on Aaron and Anthony today. Aaron is an infra ops engineer. Anthony's a DevRel engineer. We were kind of talking about that backstage. I'm curious, y'all, what do you think will help you, like, part from your job and your skills and experience will help you be able to succeed in this challenge? I know you all didn't prepare to even talk about that, but
I think for the Goose Off, it's kind of just like the more you're able to go with the flow and kind of like work with Goose instead of trying to work against it, will hopefully allow it to be like creative in its own ways, and then hopefully I can insert my own creativity in other ways. But I'll go with the flow.
Are you saying DevRel folks go with the flow more?
I don't know if that's a DevRel thing or not. Maybe we have to, but yeah, we'll see how it works today.
What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, so I think that I'm also a very creative person, and I think that something that I like a lot about Goose is that it surprises me by like all the time with just like the tools that it has access to and how it uses them. So I think similarly, like not trying to push one idea too much onto it, but kind of exploring possibly like various ideas or various ways of solving something. So
Awesome. I think I'm interested to see that applied for both of you. I think you all are both right. All right. So I really want to quickly, I know everybody always asks this before, like when the video's uploaded, they always comment after, like what models do you use and what MCP extensions you'll have on. So do you all mind saying that really quickly before we dive in?
Yeah, I am. As far as MCP extensions go, I'm pretty simple. I just have I think the developer extension enabled right now, and the computer controller. That's pretty much it. If as the challenges go on, if I need to enable more, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And then my model, I'm using Claude 4 Sonnet, so cutting edge. We'll see how it goes today.
What about you, Erin?
So I currently just have the developer extension. Let me actually just pull it up here. I have the memory extension and the web search extension.
Ooh, interesting. Switching it up with memory. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive into it. We talked backstage if we felt ready or not. I think we're ready. We're ready. Right. All right. So I will say this one is a scrimmage, right? So I always do a little scrimmage just so people can get their feet wet. So you can be like, this is not a competition. I don't need to feel nervous. Right. So the first scrimmage, or this scrimmage, is going to be search the web for 5 Florida man headlines. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with Florida man headlines, right? And then like Gen Zify it, Gen Alpha it, whatever it is, right? Change those headlines into that type of speak and build a news website that looks like it's run by like chaotic Gen Zers, right? Okay. So that was a lot, but I will repeat it, right? Search the web. Not by yourself. Use Goose, right? Search the web for 5 Florida man headlines, and then Gen Zify it and turn it into a news website. Any questions before I start the timer? I'll give you 9 minutes for this.
Were you saying a man headline? What is? I have no idea what that is.
Oh, you don't know Florida man? Okay.
No.
Sorry, this is not good. Okay, so it's like a common like I don't know what's the word, but it's common that there's always like these Florida man news headlines. Like the Florida man
Oh, okay. Like a meme type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. I wasn't sure how serious. So it's very okay. Got it.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Hopefully
No, you're good. That was me. Okay.
Anybody else, or Anthony, you have any questions?
No, I'm set and ready to go. This is hilarious.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start the timer, and I'll go to Anthony first. Is that cool?
Sounds
I
good.
think Goose should know. Goose should know what Florida man is. All right. So we're Anthony. Sorry about that. Do you feel like can you change your cool.
Yeah, let me get this out of here.
And
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start giving Goose like a plan here because I feel like there's a lot going on. So I'm gonna say we wanted to build like a news site, you said?
yeah.
Okay, we're building a news site that will feature Florida man articles and headlines. Let's break it down into some steps. So I think like with something like this, we'll try to do this in one prompt and see where it gets. I just enabled the web search extension, so hopefully that works as expected. So the first thing is like we'll go search the web for some Florida man headlines. Maybe grab 5 or so. And then step 2, build out a website in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that showcases the articles you found. Let's go with that and see where that gets us. This Florida man thing is hilarious. Okay, so this is interesting. I haven't used the web search MCP server before, so I'm curious to see exactly how this works and what it'll. Okay, yeah. So this is super interesting. This is the query that it's going to go and search for: Florida Man headlines, recent news stories, this year and last, funny, bizarre. Which is interesting because I didn't tell it Florida funny and bizarre. I guess that's just the underlying tone of what Florida Man encapsulates. So we'll see what that. Found some headlines. All right, cool. Let's build out a website.
I like how you did it in one prompt. When I tried it out myself, I don't know why I didn't think, let me do it in one prompt.
Well, this is, yeah, I mean, like, I think there's two parts to this. And one is that, like, I think, well, this is, one prompt. I just put steps and kind of like built out a plan. So like, I guess in theory, you could say like, hey, go fetch, 5 headlines that are Florida Man headlines. And then once you get those, look at those and say like, okay, now let's build those into a website. So I guess you could do it in 2. I figured, since this is the scrimmage, we'll one shot it, see what happens, kind of thing. Looks like it's building out a directory for us.
What are you imagining it might look like? Like if you were building it yourself.
Yeah, I have no idea. So like, I mean, I'm not super visually creative as far as like UIs go. So okay, it's doing the styling, so we'll see how this turns out. But yeah, I guess in my head, I'm just imagining like something like a typical website or news site, right? Like something like the New York Times, where it's all kind of like black and white. Maybe you've got the fun fonts, but I have a feeling that Goose is going to like really lean into the Florida Man aspect of this, and I have no idea what a Florida Man news site looks like.
Look like, right? Yeah. Angie said she's imagining Yahoo News.
That's probably closer to what we'll get.
I'm gonna check in. Or Aaron, are you good with me checking in on you? Wait, I'm gonna go over to him while you do.
All right, sounds. But it'll be good. It'll be more realistic.
Okay. Let's see. I didn't hear you because you were muted at first because we were talking to Anthony. But what did you say? Like when you first tried it, okay.
There was an authentication issue. Not sure if it was just because we have like our separate Databricks.
Gotcha.
So I'm just gonna literally type this prompt in. What I was doing at first, I'm gonna just try this again over here because this is.
We get to see it working concurrently.
Yeah. So I typically don't just have one window open because I feel like you can leverage more than one session. You can like get more done. So this is what I was originally trying to have Goose do. This needs to actually like get the content going. So what I wanted Goose to do for me is to actually like prepare the real prompt that I would be giving to another agent.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I switch between these different models a lot. 4.1 is really fast. So I'm going to just see. Let me see. So I'm just going to say at the bottom, please. This is just to kind of speed it up. Like this one is still searching for results, I guess, or summarizing the results over here. And this one has like the Gemini's, which I really like Gemini for writing. I think it writes really well, so it can articulate what I have in my head pretty quickly. This one already has something. I'm trying
it already made something. I want to say first off, I never used Gemini before, and I want to highlight one of Angie's comments. I know we have the comments on the side, but I like highlighting them. She said basically you're saying like, yo, tell me how to talk properly to your cousin. And I'm like, I never thought of that. Like I remember Ian talking about vibe prompting, and this is like kind of what he was saying, but kind of on steroids.
Yeah. So So what's interesting, okay, so this first one that finished was the one where I didn't give any extra. It was literally the exact prompt you gave me. What was the task? Let me just give the task to Goose. Can it do it one shot without anything extra?
Yeah.
This is more, how do I actually like make this a little bit more robust? So this is, I didn't actually even read through this whole thing. I'm just letting Goose kind of figure this out. I want to see how well it does. So we're going to see it gets the results, and then I'll be able to compare it. So I'm going to close this window. But the thing about Goose is it's like, you can just really, it's really easy to open up a new session, ask your quick question. Maybe you want to use it for an existing session. Hey, help me figure this out. Jump back in, and context is really important. So that's why like I started a new session here with like the primary objective. This is saying to conceptualize and outline. So this might not even actually have been correct. This is kind of a, we're going to see how well this works. So I'm sorry if this is not.
No, I think everybody is really like excited. Like, oh, you're using like a multi-model approach. I think sometimes I've used like 3.5 and Cosine 4, but I haven't been like Gemini and then like use Gemini to like feed like Claude or 4.1 or whatever. Can we see what is like? I'm kind of. I know you said we could wait until it gives it us.
Yeah.
But I see.
So it created the HTML. It didn't realize that I wanted it to actually like save it. So that was kind of an on thing. So it's like, here's the website. So I'm just going to ask it to save it and then open it for me. And then we'll be able to just quickly compare the two. So this is, I guess we can like see what that first one did, which was actually really quick. That was Claude 4, just the task by itself, nothing extra. It did it in like, I don't know, a minute and a half, pretty quick. The models are still.
I'm gonna, while it's working, I'm gonna, since the 9 minutes is up, I'm gonna bring us all together, and yours can be working while, I don't know if Anthony's ready, but while Anthony shows his, and then we'll compare like his and then the two versions that you made. You went above and beyond. We're having to bring us back to. Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, I only have one. That was awesome.
Do you want to show your screen so we can see what was?
Yeah, so mine is it's not quite as fun as Aaron's. So we've got a new site. We've got some very funny headlines. This one in particular made me laugh.
Can you zoom in a little bit? Sorry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A little fuzzy.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So the cool thing is like it did link out to each of the stories, so you can see the different headlines that it like sourced from, which I think is cool. I totally forgot the Gen Z part of the prompt.
Oh shoot!
So
okay.
I just while Aaron was working on his, I just asked that I have this Florida Man news site. Can you style it with a Gen Z flair? So that's what Goose is doing right now. Let's see if I refresh if anything's okay. Here we go. So yeah, this is a bit more fun, more Gen Z.
I think it kind of did it a little bit because you already had that no cap reality hits different here for real. But I think it he prioritized doing it for the rest. This is cute.
It'll do. I like all of the glowing effects. That's fun.
Me too. I like I don't know if it's like a gradient or like a glassmorphic type of feel, but
yeah,
this
it's leaning into the new liquid glass.
All right, let's go check out what Aaron got too, since you did about 2 different versions with 2 different what's it called? Models.
Yeah. So I'm just like having a chance to see what it's done, which is kind of like the fun part of it. It's like, while you're kind of crafting maybe an iteration of it, you can play around with the first version or the second version. But yeah, this similarly, it looks like it has the headlines and then like a perspective on it, and it has these kind of like fun interactive. I don't know where it got these. I didn't tell it explicitly to do any of these things, which is kind of cool because, you know, maybe it's like stuff that the model just knows, okay, these are the way that, you know, Gen Z likes to interact with things. And I guess it can go back to the source.
It links too. That's cool.
Yeah, so that looks like it works.
So this was Gemini?
So, okay, basically the way that I did this was GPT 4.1, in my opinion, is like the speediest one by far. So if I want to have something like multiple tool calls, or if I need stuff to happen faster, I usually just use the 4.1 model. Gemini I use for like crafting prompts. If I need like, that's kind of like building the context for another agent kind of thing. I gave it the raw prompt, and then it generated this this prompt, which honestly, it's not even what I would have probably wanted to iterate on this more, but just for the sake of showing what I'm trying to accomplish, at the very bottom, I just like gave it this, the final task, like what I was expecting from it. I probably should have said save the final HTML and then open it up. But yeah, I mean, we can kind of see what its process was here. It went through and it did all of this stuff. It created the blurbs. So yeah, I mean, it's like, what's kind of interesting about this is it takes, you know, like we're kind of co-creating in a way with Goose and with these agents. So if I didn't like an aspect, like for an example, the GIFs, these are, I assume, I can't actually see it though. The content is not available.
Oh,
I think
wow, that's cute. I didn't know it had that. Yeah, you could always like say like you wanted to edit it out or anything.
Right. So yeah, I might just say remove the GIFs on the headlines. They don't work.
Let's move to the next one. So
Yeah.
now we can get the challenges going. All right. So how do you guys feel? Like, was that sounded scary, but it ended up being really cool, right?
That was super fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna make these a little like this. The next one I think is pretty more straightforward than this one. And I'm gonna make it be 7 minutes so we can go bang bang, like, you know, because we got a lot of challenges and we already reached the 30-minute mark. All right. So, and I think it's not like, you know, being detailed or anything. It's just like how funny or chaotic or fun can this get? And I will put up the QR code for folks to be able to vote. And once for this upcoming one, right? For this upcoming session, I'm going to ask you guys about like which thing gave you the most nostalgia. All right. So I'm going to put the link to vote here as well. Good job to both of you, by the way. Very, very excellent, impressive, but better than I imagined. All right. So this one is going to be that I just want you to create a 2004 music type of app. So you remember LimeWire, you remember MySpace, those type of stuff, you know, give us some marquee, some glitter, whatever, like when you imagine a 2004 music app, give us that. So I'll go to Aaron first. Oh, so first off, I'm going to give you guys 7 minutes. I know that's short, but I think you can do it. I'm going to go to Aaron first, and then I'll move to Anthony. So Aaron, tell us your thought. Well, dive in and while telling us your thought process, which is hard.
Yeah. So basically, I usually go like, how do I interpret it? And then I need, like we were talking about before, like how do we like reinterpret this so it's a more, there's something actually tangible that the models can work with, that Goose can do something with this task. It can interpret this, but I'm just going to say, rewrite this prompt into a set of detailed instructions for another model. And then, this was actually, I picked the wrong one.
Gemini. Yeah, we'll see what 4.1 could do.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cool.
I'm
Okay,
wondering if I
so
should do this going forward.
it was, I mean, it wrote a decent amount. This is kind of doing a lot. I'm just going to say no need to do any research, but I'd actually like you to complete this. Go ahead and build it, save the HTML, and open it for me to read.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the research thing, it probably would have been, you know, it already knows a bunch of these. I don't think it really needs to
Reference any of those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it can.
So
use
your
it.
plan here is to have GPT 4.1 write the prompt, and then you're gonna use a different model, or you're gonna continue to use.
It already did this. It already rewrote the prompt.
Yeah.
So this was my first thing. The first thing I sent to it is rewrite this prompt into a set of detailed instructions for another model. This was the task. So it generated these detailed list of instructions that, like, theoretically, if I just had given it the task, maybe that would have just been in the background that it was kind of doing that. But by explicitly requiring, now it's in the context, it knows, okay, I should be following these steps. Aaron knows what's expected of me. So this is, I'm going to say, like, sorry, that's pretty basic.
Yeah.
4 out of 10. Please give it a bit more effort.
4 out of 10? You give it grades?
I mean, it's just so it can understand. And then if I follow up, I can, like, say, okay, now it's a 6 out of 10, or, you know, it can understand how much I dislike it. And it wants me to confirm, is it good? I'm just going to say, I'm going to actually just jump over to Claude and say, can you implement a better version of what we have?
This is an interesting strategy. I think I'm going to do this, because usually I just tell Claude or whatever, I'm like, no, that's not what I want. But I never say, like, how good I liked it or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, the way I kind of think about it, especially since we can switch models, absolutely, like, the best thing in Goose is being able to switch between models, because in my opinion, they have their own strengths, and so you can kind of leverage what they're good at. We know Claude is really good at just, like, it's good at everything, but it's really good at programming. So we already have all of the context, all of the instructions, even this basic first version that we knew, right? I told it wasn't good enough. So it has all of this information. Now with that, what is it going to do? Hopefully it's going to look a lot better. I also always think the longer it works, ideally, better it's going to, or the more stuff it's writing, obviously.
Yeah, you're thinking hard, so you're doing something.
Yeah.
Over to Anthony, so we don't spoil the surprise for yours. But awesome. I also want to tell people that, well, while I move over, I'll tell them this. Hey, Anthony. Oh, I did not prepare you. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay, so Goose took its sweet time with this one, but we got a result. I don't think this is super fun. It definitely got the 2004 kind of vibe to it. But I really like this strategy that Aaron uses of kind of, like, giving this a number scale, because I think when I first started playing with Goose, I was like, okay, this isn't fun enough. Make it more fun. And that's only so helpful. Like, it's kind of hard to define what more fun is. So I'd say this is a 2 out of 10 in terms of fun. Let's make the styling a 10 out of 10 in terms of fun and craziness. And hopefully that gives it an idea to, I don't know, make this a little bit more exciting. I haven't even, like I said, it took a little while, so I haven't even gotten to, let's see.
See if it clicks. This is cute, though. I actually, like, this reminds me of, like, when I was little, I go to, like, the home computer that's, like, in the middle of the living room.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, this is definitely the interface that I grew up on.
I do want to add to people, like, we've been seeing this like multi-model approach. We recently dropped 1.0.27, and that actually has a like support for that. That's way easier, where we have like a lead model and a worker model, so it'll fall back on the worker model for things that need to be like faster or more performant in different types of ways. So you can definitely check that out. Oh my god, there's 44 seconds. I didn't even realize
Oh
that.
no, come on, Goose. You got this.
We can look at Aaron's result first then, while just giving you a heads up, Aaron, while Anthony's works.
I'm excited. It's, we're talking neon colors, wild animations, disco balls, rainbow effects, and pure
my
chaos.
God.
So yeah, hopefully by the time our time runs out, we'll have something exciting.
I think you will. I think already this is giving pretty nostalgic vibes.
It's nostalgic for sure, and we even have a digital nostalgia track.
Oh wait, the music, zoom in. What is it?
Oh yeah. Me and my Zoom. Let's do this. That's much better.
Retro beats, digital.
So it gave me a playlist of 3 songs. I can shuffle them, I guess, but I'm not sure how good a shuffle of 3 songs really is. But I think there might have to be like some kind of audio permissioner thing that it's looking for, because every time I do go to play these, it's telling me, or maybe it's not. I would have to look in the code and see like where it's sourcing these tracks from.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay,
time's up. Okay.
Time's up. Okay, let's look at yours together.
That was really cool. I think that was way better. So mine spent like a very long time trying to do these edits, which I think kind of ate away at the time. I would have, like, having done this again, I probably would have just said start over from scratch instead of trying to edit, inline code. In any case, mine is playing music. I'm not sure if where it came from. It's also, again, not
you can hear the music,
but it is playing music. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So I just said the vibe isn't nostalgic enough as my like last thing, because this was like the most recent thing. But I would definitely have just like iterated on this, because I think that the 2004 vibe is definitely more of like still early OS type, like, it didn't have like these rounded quarters so much. I feel like it was a little bit more still blocky. So
I don't know though. This feels very like old school iTunes to me.
Yes, I was just gonna say it's given iTunes in mind.
It does. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to,
don't downplay yourself.
Downplay.
And it gave the music, so maybe Goose was like, we want to give like that type of era music. So I like it. Oh, it says no active polls. Uh-oh, sorry, that was my fault, guys. Let me start the polls. How about, I don't know, I did press start. So how about there we go. I see a vote. We got one. I'll share my screen for where we're at so far. But go ahead, Anthony. Oh, Aaron,
you can vote on whichever one. I mean, this is definitely more what I was thinking about. But I guess 2004, it probably, I don't know, if we actually looked at what was the current UI then, might have been more like this. But my whole thing is, it's like, don't limit yourself to one idea. If you didn't like the first one, just iterate and like make a whole new one. And this is kind of cool though, with the like a volume.
Yeah, you're trying to give Anthony some real competition by doing
this is good.
I like it. Oh my god, let's see Anthony's final output as well, and then we'll look at the winners.
It looks like Goose is still going. I wonder if I refresh if I'll get anything new here. Oh boy. I don't think this is better. This is all over the place.
Too much in the other direction.
Funnier. Oh my god.
So, I mean, in Goose's defense, I did give it the prompt, we want 10 out of 10 crazy. And I do think it adhered pretty well to that. Let's see if how the music is going, if I can get like that waveform. Yeah, okay. It's certainly crazy and wild. Definitely lost the 2004 nostalgia. I like that UI better. I thought it was interesting too that it seems like my prompts led Goose to a more like, Windows kind of old school aesthetic, and his prompts led Goose to more of that like Mac iTunes kind of style. Yeah, this is very interesting to say the least.
I wonder if it was like based on the models you guys used, because you both use different models. All
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna share my screen to show like where's the results at so far for this particular session. And we have, oh, interesting, Anthony with winning right now, and then Aaron in second.
Oh, I
Interesting.
think I just got the nostalgia points. I think Aaron's was awesome.
Yeah, I like both of y'all's, to be very honest. Like it was hard to choose, and Aaron came through with the two different versions. So
Whichever one you guys prefer.
Tanya said this is insane. So I think people are really liking it. And Max was saying like the first one is like Mac version, and the second one you made was like Windows. All right. So where are we at with time? Okay, not too bad, not too bad. The next thing I want to do, this is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm doing nostalgia vibes.
I like it.
Yeah. Who remembers Clippy?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I want you guys, I try out these prompts, so don't overthink it. I try them out. I will allow you guys to recreate Clippy, but like a 2025 anxious version of Clippy. I already tried this out on my own. Like I one shot prompted it, and like I was really impressed with Goose. Let me know if you have questions before I say start, and I'll give you 8 minutes for this.
So an anxious version of Clippy, that's the general idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever else you want to add to it, that's you. Aaron, any questions?
Where is it supposed to, so this is like obviously it's like a web page. Is it supposed to like resemble like a Word document or
Whatever you want. Is that
okay?
Too vague? I think web app will probably be easiest for the time. But if you want it to look like a Word doc, you can. If you want the website to change and look in whatever way you want, you can do that. It's up to you and Goose.
Okay.
All right. I'll go to Anthony first. So feel
Awesome.
free to switch the view that you see of us. And then I will go. Cool.
All right, we'll get rid of this. Okay, so I'm going to experiment with something. Because I am a student of the Great Goose Off, I made a recipe that will hopefully gear us in the right direction. So real quick, for folks who haven't explored recipes before, this essentially is like almost like a pre-built agent that I can interact with. And so the recipe that I made, it's my Great Goose Off recipe. It's for the live stream. And these are the instructions. So essentially, like, we're leaning into the fun, wacky, slightly unhinged, humorous twists and subversion of expectations. Still use CSS, HTML, JavaScript. I was playing with other audio stuff, so that's why these things came in here. And then I'm curious too how this will work, especially for Clippy. But we'll see as I create everything. Hopefully, have Goose generate some more feature ideas to kind of iterate on. So we'll see how this goes. So I want to build a web app that creates an anxious version of Microsoft's Clippy mascot, I guess you would call him.
I guess so.
Let's see how this does for us. I'm loving all of the nostalgia vibes. That's hilarious.
Yay, thank you. And then I'm like impressed by both you and Aaron. You guys came prepared. Like Aaron got the two windows open, switching between models, and you're like, yeah, I just have a recipe ready.
As soon as Aaron started going for the multi-model, I was like, all right, I gotta pull out the big gun, see what we got in the tank here.
Pro level. Oh my god.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it works for us. Might definitely been a little slow today, but Hopefully in the time we have, it'll generate something for us. Let's see what it's got.
Yeah, I guess in the meantime, I can go visit Aaron and
Definitely.
see.
Hopefully I have something when you get back.
Yeah, be right back.
Cool. So I'm still reading through it. What we were gonna be creating. I gave it the prompt. I actually was gonna try out something since I had saved a memory that was like when we're in a Goose Off competition, do things a little bit differently, which is just like list out your steps more. And so I was prefacing with that part just for this one to try it out. And I told it I want a web app of Clippy. Basically gave it the task. And then I asked it a couple questions, what it thinks are the most important aspects that we should capture, how should we build it? And then like a couple of the things that I was thinking of, like, do we make one big one or just, the Google Docs? So that it came up with all these suggestions. I read through some of it. I read through the recommendation at the end, and it was saying that it was going to have like pop-ups. And where was it saying? So I was basically just like critiquing that it didn't give me enough of the Clippy vibe. Mm-hmm. So it's going to go back and put this in a code block. I'll just say that looks good. I didn't even read it. We're just doing this as a way to quickly iterate.
Yeah, we're vibe coding.
I'll let Goose know there's some urgency to this.
And not you also having stuff prepared, like talking about we're in a Goose Off competition. That's very awesome that you like stored that in memory ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the fact that there's like, I think that we pass in the directory name, so it should have known that, but by explicitly saying it, then it will definitely have it in the context that it should be treating this with a little bit more.
Future contestants got to step it up. do homework.
Got to make sure Goose is performing at its best.
Interesting. And then I also have a question. I know you said sometimes you do. Well, let me let you type.
Yeah.
But I was just go ahead.
Well, yeah. Did you can? Was there a question? Because it's still working. I mean, we can.
Okay. My question was going to be like, you did say sometimes you use the like ranking, like 4 out of 10, 10 out of 10. But this time you didn't. What was like the difference? Because you just said that looks good or that doesn't look good.
Yeah. So I did just a quick read through what it was suggesting, and there was nothing that really stuck out to me that was like, this is how you, I don't even remember what I read now that I'm like trying to read it really quickly. But that's effectively, it's like, how do Goose communicate with us? We communicate with Goose. It's like a back and forth thing. If maybe it just needed to have said what I was looking for more clearly, but in any case, I was saying this doesn't give me the Clippy vibes. Clippy should be short, snappy, and kind of giving you tips and hints along the way. So I am going to make an assumption that it understood that it wasn't Clippy enough, and so that it should do something new. So this is our new Clippy. It's an egg. Probably, let's see.
What is little googly eyes?
What? So now I guess there's certain keywords that come up. What should I prepare for my meeting?
Guys, this is so cute. Oh my goodness. I love this new Clippy. What's the progress bar? I'm curious.
How anxious it is?
I forgot my own prompt to you guys. Oh no, you have a deadline, nervous, sweating. I love it. All right, let's see.
Or just type.
We have about 30 seconds left. Let's see where Anthony's at. Anthony. Oh.
Alrighty. So we've got 2 versions right now. I did not do the multi-model approach and generate 2 versions, but Goose just kind of like made each iteration a new version. So this was our first version. I don't know. I find it very entertaining. I don't necessarily love the Clippy rendering. I know we were going for the paperclip vibe. I think we missed a little bit there, but it is really fun. Like it has like Clippy's like worry log, which I think is hilarious. And just like it was over analyzing things before, so it has like an anxiety level meter. I can try to reassure Clippy. What if reassurance is just a lie? And then my favorites are the panic mode with sounds included, and catastrophizing as well. And then I guess he's got his thoughts up here too. Then what I did was, so like I said, the recipe has like suggested additional features built into it. So once it built this, it was like, hey, you might want to do this too. I thought this was funny if like Clippy became like your therapist in some way. So this is where we got here. It didn't quite develop I mean, it's still working, but it didn't quite develop the therapy kind of session. I was expecting more kind of like Aaron's is, where I could, type in and you kind of interact with Clippy. But even still, like I get a lot of anxious remarks as I ask for help, or I can reassure Clippy to reduce the anxiety level, or stress Clippy out, and get all of this. But it's I think the Clippy renderings could use some work, but overall I'm pretty pleased with it.
They tried this, or it tried with the second one. It did like half of what
this was definitely closer. Yeah, we got the coloring here and more of the shape here. So maybe if we put them together in a third iteration, we get something.
Let's see where Aaron's at now too.
Sorry, I was observing the progress on your hand on. So I was actually thinking about some way to improve this would be, because ideally this could be like a model that is actually it's interacting with, instead of it having to be like it's typing keywords, it's actually like a model. So what I was going to do, if I had enough time, because I have like Olama running locally, and you can hit an endpoint and then it will like send it back the request. But we didn't have enough time for that, so I didn't get a chance to actually ask Goose to do it. I was just starting to try to set up Olama, but that kind of would have been a hack. So
all right, I'm going to show you guys where we're at in terms of who people voted for, about like which Clippy was the most anxious. And drum roll, we got Aaron with the most anxious Clippy.
Well
so
done.
1-1. And then we don't have a super large amount of time left. Oh wow.
Oh, I got some votes.
there's probably like 3 more people voting.
I just logged in and voted for myself real quick. So.
One thing I was gonna add, I asked, it just finished this, I guess, because it just rendered on my end, but I had asked it to update to a goose, and so it tried to render it as a goose instead, and it made put a goose here.
It's a goose.
So any bonus points I can get, I'll take it. But that's actually kind of good if it just did this for like, I guess just like rendered random SVG stuff. It looks like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering how it's doing it. I'm like, SVG.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I would normally ask if you're like, that is awesome. Oops. How did you make the goose? I have kind of a philosophy that if you don't understand why something happened or how something happened, you should just ask, assuming that these things are trustworthy and they don't want to, throw you off in the wrong direction. So, it helps you learn how to interact with them. And then for the next time, maybe if there's something that you saw it can do, you could be like, oh, I know that this is a strategy you can achieve. So it's telling me, oh, geez, that is not how I would have thought it did it. That is.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Go Goose. Look at you.
It made a little like a little guy that can. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then did CSS art. That's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm impressed. Yeah, and I stand by your philosophy of asking AI tools why they did something. I always do that because sometimes, it's hallucinating and I just want to check it. I'm like, why'd you do that? And then also helps me learn. All right, we don't have a lot of time. I have one more challenge. This one's the craziest one. So just brace yourself. I don't know. Like it'll be more like whatever Goose comes up with. So don't like constrain yourself. Basically, what I want, and let me go ahead and switch the voting polls. But what I want is for you all to build a UI that intentionally breaks itself, right? So like you click things, there's errors happening, it shows like silly errors, glitchy modals, any way that you perceive this. How do you guys feel?
Love it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And I will give, I'll give 8 minutes and then we'll have 2 minutes to go through like what everybody built. Ready, set, go. And I'll go to Aaron. All right.
Okay. I'm just the way I interpreted this, it should not legit throw errors to the user, but it should give off that vibe. Other words, we want to intentionally So I'm going to do my technique where I'm going to open up a second one and be like, rewrite this for because like the more kind of human a request is, I feel like the harder it is to like easily tell the LLM what you want it to do, because like this could be interpreted like in a lot of ways. So we're gonna see. This is like just an approach that I like to take. So Gemini is rewriting the prompt. Claude is actually going to be writing the code ideally. And I'm just gonna copy this. I go, now I'd like you to because this is our last one. I'm just gonna say why not and post it here.
I'm curious which one will come out crazier. I love this approach that you have. I didn't think about the fact that like maybe the way I'm saying it as a human is not translating over well, or could be translated over better if an LLM wrote it. I was always like, oh, too many words. I just want to write how I say it. But this seems to be working for you.
Yeah. So and just like kind of what I was showing here is how context can affect like the final output. So this knew the original kind of request, what I wanted, and then it's going to use that to interpret all of this like final thing. It basically just said what it's going to do. I mean, it did produce the code, but it didn't actually open it. So I'm just going to say open it. So I'm going to have 3 versions. So I'm just going to look at the one that I personally like the best, but it's like, what's great about this is you don't have to be too invested in one version. If it's not what you like, you just close that tab and look at the next one. So
hint to Anthony, Aaron's making 3.
Go ahead. We'll check this out on the next time around.
No. I was saying a hint to Anthony that you're making 3. And people are just also laughing that in the background your clippy Goose is like being anxious.
Oh, it's still being anxious. Yeah, I know. Well, it's kind of like mimicking me right now.
Let's see. Okay, no, so you're not. It's good.
This is good. So let's see. Motivation not found because I haven't started it. That's kind of sassy. Air will be my name, but not. It's okay. I mean, I'm gonna see.
Nice.
It's kind of doing it. You've just been infected with viruses. Just kidding. This is a fake pop-up. Okay. I mean, it's all right. This one is also a little bit, misspellings and that kind of stuff. So I'm curious. I didn't see the last one get opened. Oh, it did open
I'm curious
this.
why it all went for logins. I guess logins, like login forms, are the things that would be like most broken and annoying. I'll go to.
Yeah,
I'll go to yeah.
I
Okay.
think that is probably one of the like most buggy things that people have issues with, or what people kind of experience. Because otherwise, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Maybe these base models just like have that in their training set.
Yeah. Let me go to Anthony now. I think these are coming out great. All right, Anthony, how you do?
Alrighty. So I definitely I tried to lean into this recipe again. I gave a pretty simple prompt, just build a broken website, errors, everything you described, popping up, glitchy modals, that kind of stuff. Told it to run wild, but with all of the context that the recipe gives, I was kind of hoping that just that little push would give it enough. So this is what we've got so far. It's definitely frustratingly entertaining. Anytime you try to go to a new tab, I get this modal pop up. I try to fix it. That button is out of order.
Oh God.
I hit OK. The modal is stuck. Like it's just all over the place. I have to refresh. I don't know how to get out of this yet. And also, there was. Let me try refreshing again because it was giving me funny messages before. Oh no, what is it doing now? No, it's not giving these anymore. But okay, let's see, because it just made a new version. So I might have broken it a little bit, but let's see. So the other thing, after it made this, it suggested additional features again. And I think this idea of a fake blue screen of death, like that's got to be the worst thing that could happen to you, is hilarious. So I said, let's add that. And so let's see how.
I'm excited for that.
If it tells me click buttons repeatedly, some will trigger the blue screen of death. So let's let's see. Let's go for this one. It's probably the most recent.
It won't even tell you which ones will give you the beat.
No. I'm hoping if I click around long enough. Let's see. Wait for random 5% chance of blue screen of death during normal chaos. So maybe what I should tell it is give it a higher chance that I run into. Let's make it.
While you do that, I'll highlight some of the messages. Max did say like it is interesting that both of y'all's are kind of similar. It went for like block gradient with the buttons, and then also hi Marshall, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I found maybe it's a Claude 4 thing. I didn't see what model Aaron was using for this one, but I've noticed a lot of gradients just in all of the projects. Like Goose really likes to lean into the gradients. So I don't know if it's a Claude thing or not, but
that's a good point. I think Aaron was using 4.1, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that is a good point. That
if I just want to check on what is this called? Broken website. Okay. Oh, it did something here. Let's see.
Me too, Angie. I like a good gradient too.
Oh, this was the other thing too. Let's see if I do Anthony. It's not how you spell that. Yeah, when I click the send message, just clears it all out for me. Doesn't do anything with it.
Right. Well,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the time is up, but tell us what you.
Oh no, okay.
You didn't have anything you wanted to say?
No, see where Aaron's at, and I'll see if this blue screen of death makes it in time.
Okay. Hey Aaron.
Yeah. So I was just trying to enhance one of the this one, which I liked less, just to kind of see what features I could add. It was interesting. I feel like often if it can do the bare minimum, it will. So let me see. I'm gonna refresh this page and see. It didn't actually implement what I asked. So I I wanted it to, probably didn't give it the right link is why. Let me try to do it this way. Edit this file. So I wanted it when you clicked on an input for it to like either move or it like selects the next one, because that would be really infuriating if you were trying to type here and then it starts typing here. So these are the kinds of things that's like, how can I use maybe something that I have from my own experience that, you know, this co-creation thing, it can quickly iterate on this. So ideally if it did it, yes, go for it. So it's how do you get what's like in here on the page? You just got to ask for it usually, but sometimes it takes some back and forth.
Right. Yeah, that's a good tip for people. Like sometimes they're like, I already told Goose or whatever AI tool how to do it, but it's like you kind of have to learn how to speak that LLM's language.
Yeah. So I mean, they just disappear. It's
Oh, that's great. It's moving.
yeah. So now it's starting to do more what I was kind of imagining, where like you can't actually click on it or you can't get to it. So yeah, I mean, it's better. I guess it's like however we want to interpret the
how
task.
you and Goose interpret it. Anthony, are you ready?
I mean, I guess I don't think it.
Ready or not? Here
I really, Goose has assured me that maximum chaos is unleashed, but as I'm clicking around, I'm not.
You're like, it's not chaotic.
It's not. No. Yeah, it's not quite doing it. So I was just, I was, scrolling through this really quickly to see if I could see anything, but there's just a lot going on here. And like, it had the right idea, right? Fake navigation clicks, try to submit, but fail. Close the modal, multiple modals, fake loading, all these things, random glitch effects. So like, it had the right idea, but I guess there's just something in here that is preventing it from rendering. I really wanted to see the blue screen of death. That would have been hilarious.
The code, the site is buggy, but also the actual code that Goose generates.
Yeah, maybe it's more of a meta thing, and it's just really leaning into like actually not working.
All right, let's see where people have voted y'all at, or the builds at. It's not really you all that they're voting, but the build. So far, they said Aaron and Anthony in second place. I think both of y'all did amazing. I'm gonna take home a lot of this. Well, but I'm gonna start using a lot of the strategies that y'all gave us. Do you both have like any like last minute tips that you wish you got to share, but you probably didn't? And then we'll go for vibe coding or prompting.
Yeah, no, I think maybe not quite a last minute tip, but I really liked Aaron's approach of using the multiple models and kind of like engineering that prompt that way. I think it would turn out to be really effective. So definitely something I'll lean into more. And Goose is perfectly suited to be able to do that. So
yeah, it is. What about you, Aaron?
I would say, like, just thinking about how to use these tools and offloading a lot of the tasks that you don't want to have to do yourselves and like Goose surprisingly can do a lot of these things. And so kind of treating it like a personal assistant in many ways. If you want to give it access to your calendar, if you want to give it access to your Slack channels, if you were to have a personal assistant, how would you use them? Would you ask them, hey, organize my meetings, prepare my meeting notes for me? Like, what would you be using them for? But you actually have this tool now on your actual machine. So it's kind of like it's a shift how we're thinking about these things. But I think it's like, in my opinion, it's great because you can get a lot more done with your time, and you can quickly iterate. Like, if you had asked us to build these 3 things, sure, give me, like, without Goose or without these AI tools in the past, I could have done it, but it would have taken me a lot longer. It would have had like 1 version for each of them, not 3, and couldn't pick my favorite one. So
yeah,
it enables us to kind of do a lot more. So
yeah, I think so too. Like, I've loved offloading tasks to Goose, and I did see. Well, Angie actually shared this with me. Someone called it like turning your laptop into an AI agent. And I really do think like that's the kind of feel that we have going. I also want to post in the channel if folks are curious on like taking that, using different models to the next level. There's some documentation that we have. Let me put it up. It's a pretty long URL, but I'll still put it up here. But basically we have some documentation on using a lead worker model, and that's like you can configure like one model as like your lead model, and then the other one as like your worker model behind the scenes. All right, y'all, I do want to say thank you to the audience for staying engaged, for voting. Y'all were great. And also thank you, Anthony and Aaron, for your time and being brave. I know this is like a very on the spot thing. I like hosting, but I don't know if I would want to be
You should do it.
All right. Have a good day, y'all.
All right,
Bye.
see ya. Bye.